So to continue on with multiplication, now that we reviewed how to multiply a monomial times a monomial and a monomial times a polynomial, we got to go back and review how to multiply a binomial times a binomial. Remember, binomial means two terms. So we multiply two terms times two terms. The method we use in algebra is called the FOIL method. Remember, that's just a cute name to remind you how to distribute your terms. So when you do FOIL, you're doing the distributive property. What does FOIL stand for, everybody? That's right, it stands for first, outer, inner, last. That tells you which term to multiply to which term when you have binomials. So let's review from polynomial world. If I had the binomials x plus 3 and I was going to multiply them to x minus 2, the first term would be x times x, which is x squared. The outer term would be x times negative 2, which is negative 2x. The inner term would be positive 3 times x, which is positive 3x. And your last term would be your positive 3 times your negative 2, which is your negative 6. So we know when we multiply doing FOIL, we'll get 4 terms. Normally, some of those terms, usually the outers and inners, are the ones that are alike, and we put them together. So when we have negative 2x plus 3x, we would subtract and get positive x. And we know when we multiply a binomial times a binomial, 9 times out of 10, we get a trinomial. And that's where we get our x squared plus x minus 6. So ladies and gentlemen, just because we're in radical world, the rules are not different. If you have a binomial times a binomial, you're still going to do the FOIL method of distributing. So look at my example in the PowerPoint. You have 4 plus square root of 3 times 2 minus square root of 3. You obviously have two terms times two terms. That plus and minus inside the parentheses show you they're two terms. We have to do FOIL. So if we go slow, first would be the 4 times the 2, which would be the 8. Outers would be the positive 4 times the negative square root of 3. So a positive times a negative is a negative, and now you want to multiply the whole number 4 to a square root of 3. The 4 is on the outside, so it stays on the outside. The 3 is on the inside, it stays on the inside. You cannot multiply those together and make 12. So 4 times the square root of 3 is 4 square roots of 3. Now we'll do the inners. It's positive square root of 3 times 2. So a positive times 2 is a positive. Again, the 2 is a whole number. It's on the outside. It's not in a square root. The 3 is the radicand. It's on the inside. You cannot multiply those together and make 6. So a square root of 3 times a 2 is 2 square roots of 3. Our last term is positive square root of 3 times negative square root of 3. A positive times a negative is a negative. Now, this time, both 3's are inside. Their radicands will multiply them. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 would be square root of 9. You have 4 terms. 8 minus 4 square roots of 3 plus 2 square roots of 3 minus square root of 9. The two terms in the middle are alike. They're both square roots of 3. So we're going to put those together by subtracting. So we have an 8. 4 square roots of 3 plus 2 square roots of 3 is a negative 2 square roots of 3. So those terms in the middle are alike. We put them together. We get a negative 2 square roots of 3. That last term, square root of 9, happens to be a perfect square. What is the square root of 9, everybody? It's a 3. So negative square root of 9 becomes now negative 3. So now if you look, you still have like terms, because now you have a whole number 8, that's positive, and you have a whole number negative 3. And 8 minus 3 is 5, so there's your whole number 5, minus 2 square roots of 3. And that is how you multiply a binomial times a binomial in radical world. You do FOIL just like we did in polynomial world. Okay, we have to go to the overhead. Try another one.